A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn.
Rich guys and hot guys get cheated on like everybody else. You lost your edge, she lost attraction. That's how it works. Don't just give her your attention. Make her earn it.
What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated?
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 517th episode of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. We are brought to you by my 5-part 7-hour audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up. Over 300 men have purchased the course, and they are already benefiting and seeing real-world results. Do what over 300 men have already done and get your hands on the only relationship course that has verifiable, proven results at donovansharpe.com/courses. The link, of course, is in the description. It is Tuesday, October 8, 2019. It is bowling night here at the Sharpe family compound. I shot a 600 series last week. I shot a 188, a 168, and a 244 last week, which is my third. It's actually my third highest game ever. I actually shot a 279 and a 262 way back in 1998 when I was 21 years old, so it looks like I'm headed in the right direction. As always, we are streaming live to YouTube and Twitter via Periscope, so however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Later on in the show, I'm going to talk about a vegan YouTuber who is 100% lying about being a virgin, so you guys definitely want to stick around for that. But I'm going to start with talking about one of the biggest mistakes that men make in their dating lives, which is entertaining thoughts of a long-term relationship with a woman you first started dating. In other words, with a woman that you haven't dated for very long. Now, we've all been there, guys. We meet an attractive woman, we strike up conversation, we get her number, we set up the first date, we have a great time. We go on a couple more dates, things get even better, and before you know it, you start to catch feelings for her. Now, this is perfectly normal because the more time you spend with someone, the more you like them. This is simple math. And if the sex is good, it accelerates that process tenfold. So you're dating an attractive woman, right? And you have a great time and you have great sex and things seem to be headed in the right direction until you start thinking about what it's like to be in a long-term relationship with her. And I'm not talking about a 3 to 6 month relationship, guys. Oh no. I'm talking about dude to think about what it would be like to meet her parents, what it would be like for her to meet your parents, the names of your children, the kind of house you'll live in, the kind of car you'll drive, etc. Now, a lot of you guys might be thinking, whoa, wait a minute, Donovan, that's way too fast, and you would be right. But guys, I'm here to tell you, men do this all the time. We want so badly to be in a relationship of consequence with a pretty girl that we like both in and out of the bedroom that if we start dating someone who meets just those 3 basic requirements, which is sexual attractiveness, kindness, and great sex, our minds jump into a time machine and we almost involuntarily start planning our futures with these women before we've even dated her for a month. The danger that comes with this line of thinking is that, number one, it gives you unrealistic expectations, and number two, most importantly, we subconsciously stop the vetting process, and this is where we get into trouble, guys. The minute you start thinking of a woman you're dating as your girlfriend and possibly even your future wife, your red pill conditioning switches off. When you start to visualize her as your wife, as your girlfriend, your mind sort of subconsciously tells you that she fulfills all of the requirements necessary to secure your commitment. And when this happens, guys, you stop setting boundaries. You stop making your expectations clear. You stop holding her accountable. The list goes on and on. What ends up happening is that she loses motivation to keep you around because your actions are showing her that she's done enough to be your girl, and it's all downhill from there. She's texting her ex. She's posting sexy pictures on social media. She's going to the club every Friday night with her girlfriends. And because you didn't stamp out this behavior from the start, which you would have learned had you purchased my audio course, How to Build a Quality Woman from the Ground Up, these bad behaviors get worse and worse until she finally tells you that you guys should start seeing other people, which also means she's been sleeping with Dave, the unemployed garage band guitar player who may or may not have multiple warrants out for his arrest, which your now ex-girlfriend promises she'll bail him out and get him a lawyer if the cops ever catch up to him. So here's lesson number 1, guys. Never, ever start thinking about a long-term relationship with a woman you've been dating for less than 6 months. Women are experts at appearing to be girlfriend or wife material for quite a while, but they can't do it forever. It's usually around, I would say, the 3 to 4 month mark where they start showing their true colors, at which point you can act accordingly. So it's clear that men shouldn't allow their minds to jump into that time machine, so to speak. If a man is aware that this sort of process occurs, if a man is aware of the fact that his mind jumps into that time machine and takes measures to avoid it, he'll be successful more often than not. Exceptions do exist, of course, whether or not you have red pill awareness, but by and large, if you're aware of it and you have red pill awareness, you're going to be successful in sort of quelling these desires more often than not. Unfortunately for women, it does not work the same way. And that brings me to TSR Tower's favorite Hall of Shamer, Janelle Testa, who wrote an article entitled, "So I Met This Guy, ellipsis, never mind, he ended up being another disappointment." Like the vast majority of women, I put the number at around, I don't know, say 97%. Miss Testa gets so excited about a guy she's sleeping with that she can't help but to think about a future with him. She tells her family, she tells her friends, she tells everybody about him. She talks about how he's a great guy, how this one might be a keeper, what the names of their kids are, what kind of house they're going to own, all the rest of that. But about a week and a half after that, after about a week and a half, the guy she is dating figures out that he wants nothing to do with her outside of sex, because Janelle no longer has the ability to fake being a quality woman for more than a week. So special thanks goes out to Jimmy, who is one of my longtime patrons, for submitting this particular article for today's show, and we're going to break this bad boy down right after this. We'll be right back. If you want laser focus and a good, clean, controlled energy to get a lot done in a short period of time, you need Gorilla Mind Rush. I tried it a couple months back and I've used it ever since. I even used it when I was on vacation. Just 3 tablets in the morning and my mind and body work at peak operating efficiency. I power through my workouts and have more than enough mental and physical energy left over to prepare for my show, do my consultations, and stay hyper-focused and undistracted the entire time. Now, 15 minutes after you take Gorilla Mind Rush, you start to notice a subtle change in your mindset. 15 minutes after that, you'll notice that you're much more focused, you're thinking more clearly, you'll be a little more energetic, and your motivation to be productive goes way up. An hour in, you'll feel noticeably more focused and can concentrate even with distractions around. You'll feel less stressed and less anxious. After 90 minutes, you are in full Gorilla Mind Rush mode. Your focus, concentration, and memory will be far beyond your normal state, and you will stay this way for at least 6 hours. And get this, guys, there is no crash. That's right, you get all the benefits of your mind being hyper-focused for a long period of time without the cliff when it wears off. If you need this kind of focus, energy, and productivity while also supporting the show, go to donovansharpe.com/gorilla mind rush. Again, that is donovansharpe.com/gorilla mind rush. The link is in the description. Welcome back to the 517th edition of TSR Live. Appreciate you guys sticking around. I was actually able to set up the green screen a lot quicker this time. So no close calls like yesterday. I think I've got a little bit of a system to get it set up quickly enough so that I don't have the... man, I almost didn't make it yesterday. That was close. Anyway, let's break this article down and figure out why Janelle Testa keeps getting disappointed by the guy she's dating. She starts out the article. She says, quote, "Have you ever met someone awesome and told everyone about them, only for them to disappear from your life and not long after? Well, this happens to me all the time. Usually I'm just dating someone and my big mouth tells everyone before we even know if we're compatible." So she says this happens to her all the time. But what she's not telling us is why this happens to her all the time. Like I said earlier, Janelle no longer has the ability to fake the characteristics. She can't fake the habits. She can't fake the traits of a woman who is worthy of commitment longer than, I don't know, maybe a week or two. Now, the men she has access to are indeed low value, but even those men are starting to figure out that they don't want to pay the 2020 sticker price for a 2020 Corvette for an 84 Honda Accord with 354,000 miles on it, so they bounce. Now, this wouldn't be happening if Miss Testa didn't overplay her hand and start demanding commitment too soon. She doesn't have that kind of leverage, guys. She doesn't have the leverage to make demands. Now, when she was 20, 21 years old, she had the leverage. But 10 years, 50 pounds, 20 tattoos, 3 abortions, and 354 hookups later, that leverage is long gone. The problem is she doesn't know it yet, and that's why she's confused as to why dudes keep ghosting on her. So let's go ahead and get to number one here. Number one, I'm a serial dater. I go on date after date, she says, with person after person. Mostly guys, but the occasional lady too. Oh boy. I've gone on more dates than anyone I know. Translation, I've slept with more people than anyone I know. It's pretty out of hand, actually. There's generally always been someone in my life in some capacity. One thing that jumps out to me immediately, and that is the dates with other women. Something that most men are grossly unaware of and sometimes even deny because of male ego is that most women have slept with more women than most men. Let me repeat that. Most women have slept with more women than most men. It is absolutely true. This chick gets more dates with women than the average man. And that's not atypical in today's dating market, guys. You have to understand here. Women are so inundated with bananas and cucumbers that they like to eat the occasional taco every once in a while just to mix things up. Yes, gentlemen, women get so much sex from men, they actually start to get bored. So they go out on dates with other women. This happens a lot more often than you might think, and I would even go as far as to say it's a regular occurrence. Then right at the end, she says that there's always been someone in my life in some capacity, which means she's always sleeping with someone. She said it herself, guys. She goes on date after date with person after person, so she never gets a break. So while we may laugh and chuckle when I say she's hooked up with 354 dudes, that might be a conservative number. And when the guy she starts dating sees the signs of her banana gobbling ways, they end up hitting the eject button. Number two, my relationships never last lately. Ay, ay, ay. Years ago, she says, I was in one long-term relationship after another. Nowadays, though, my relationships hardly last a month. I average being with someone for about 3 to 6 weeks. I get all worked up about this person only for it to come to a screeching halt before it really takes off. I'm definitely left regularly saying, never mind, to everyone around me that heard all about this person. Back in episode 242, I talked about the 8 most common types of banana gobblers that you will encounter and how to get them between the sheets. And number 6 was what I called the serial girlfriend slut. I also told a story about how I completely missed the boat on an obvious choosing signal which delayed me hooking up with a girl by about a year and a half. That has nothing to do with today's episode, but it's a cool story nonetheless. Take a look and listen. The serial girlfriend slut. Anybody who has a Facebook page or an Instagram page is privy to the girl who is in and out of a relationship every other week, right? Like one day she's in love, the next day all men suck, the day after that she's excited about her first date, and the cycle repeats itself again the next week. This is how this goes. Now, the serial girlfriend sluts, they engage in bionic rationalization hamstring by proclaiming that they're not sluts because every guy they have fucked, every guy that they've been fucked by was her boyfriend at the time. But deep down, they know they're still sluts, whether the 7... Dude, she knows she's still a slut, whether the 7 guys she fucked last month were her boyfriends or not. And so does everyone else who congratulates her on Facebook for finding happiness. Now, recognizing the serial girlfriend slut is very easy. Just take a quick scan through a social media page, right? Makes it an easy task. If you, for example, if you hooked up with a girl over the weekend, check her Facebook or Instagram page and look for multiple posts of her with multiple other guys that are captioned by emojis that indicate love or a relationship over a short period of time. Another dead giveaway of the serial girlfriend slut is when she angles for commitment shortly after you two have fucked, right? So questions like, so let's say you've been fucking a girl for a week and a half, right? Let's say you meet up with her on Monday, you're fucking her Monday through Friday, you guys hook up on the weekend. Wednesday, she tells you, so where's this headed anyway? Or are we going to make this thing of ours like official or what? Those are both typical conversation starters of serial girlfriend sluts. What these girls will also do is they will step up their domestic game by doing your laundry, cooking for you, and talking about how traditional she is, right? Again, the serial girlfriend slut always wants to act like a lady in the beginning because she wants to secure that commitment early. There isn't a specific way. There is no slut bait for the serial girlfriend slut because every woman on some level is looking for commitment of some sort. So standard game is really all you need. However, if you want to keep a serial girlfriend slut in your rotation because she's maybe hot and she likes to suck your dick, run a little bit of calculated beta game, and she should stay in your orbit and quiet, for quite a while. And I'll talk about what calculated beta game is in a future episode. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, the serial girlfriend slut actually reminds me of Susie, the girl that actually caused me to find the red pill. Long story short, moved to Vegas. I had a suitcase full of clothes and $700 in my pocket. Got a job at a call center. Of course, bunch of people working there in our training class. There was this, and I'll just go ahead and tell you guys what her name. Her name was Martha. She was originally from Guadalajara, 100% Mexican girl, but I think she had lived in Vegas for, 10 or 15 years, spoke perfect English, spoke Spanish as well. Huge tits. Like, she had huge tits, but she was maybe a 6.5. So she was mildly attractive. She wasn't all that, but listen, she was Mexican, she was Hispanic, she had big tits. Anyway, so the training lasted about a month. And at the end of the month, we all decided on a Friday, hey, let's all go to the club and celebrate. So, dude, we all got fucking sloshed. We get back to her place. We had wild drunken sex, and that apparently consummated the relationship. So 3 weeks later, like her and I were fucking for 3 weeks. But, dude, during that 3 weeks, it became very apparent to me that she was a low quality female. Dude, her apartment was always dirty. Her son was out of control. Dude, she didn't like to cook. Oh, dude, the only thing good about her was that the sex was unbelievable. Like, dude, this girl could fucking drain balls with the best of them. So I honestly probably stuck around 2 weeks longer than I should have on account of her being able to drain my balls that regularly. Like, she could handle my sex drive. Anyway, so, I drove to her house and I said, look, I borrowed my friend's car. I didn't have a car at the time. I was like, hey, look, listen, this isn't going to work. She was completely indifferent. I mean, she could not care less. She even told me she loved me the last. Okay, no problem. So I go home and a mutual friend of ours gives me a call. I'm like, yeah, I broke up with Susie. She says, really? Okay, well, yeah, she told me too. And she's getting ready to go out on a date. I'm like, what? So I Googled, why do girls get over breakups so easily? That's what led me to the red pill. Anyway, Martha was a serial girlfriend because at the time her and I were flirting with each other, she had a boyfriend before. And she had a boyfriend before, and then she told me about the boyfriend before her last boyfriend that she was going to move in with. So Martha was the serial girlfriend slut. I was just another in the long. And I remember one of the girls that worked at that call center actually fucked her too. Oh my God. This is funny. I don't think I've ever told this story. So there's Martha, and then there's Erica. Erica was much hotter than Martha. And again, this is pre-red pill. And Erica was showing me that she kind of liked me, but I didn't know that she really liked me. They were both Mexican girls. Dude, Erica was, she was, I don't know, maybe like an 8, right? And again, this is pre-red pill Donovan, so an 8 probably looked like a 10. Erica was clearly superior to Martha, and they were both kind of flirting with me. And I remember we were in the lunchroom one time, and Erica said, hey, listen, this is before Martha and I hooked up. This is unbelievable. I can't believe I remember this. So we're all in the lunchroom, and I think we're watching The Simpsons on Erica's iPhone or something like that. And Erica was like she struck up conversation. She's like, yeah, we need to go over our objections, our training. She's like, you know what? We could probably just do it over the phone. And again, my stupid Erica is telling me, hey, give me a call so we can go over our objections. And I was confused. I didn't know that this chick was flirting with me. I had no idea because I had such low self-esteem. I had no idea. I had no game. So I'm like, okay, well, how are we going to do that? She's like, well, I'll just give you my phone number. Martha's sitting right there. So Erica writes down her phone number and gives it to me. And Martha says, well, if she's going to give you your phone number, I guess I may as well too. And so she writes down her phone number. And I'm like, oh, okay. I finally had Martha's phone number. So I had 2 girls give me their phone number at the same time. If I knew then what I know now, I would never have messed with Martha. I would have messed with Erica. Okay. Anyway, oh my God. So anyway, I'll never forget me in this. So we're all in this. So we all go to lunch the very next day. And again, I didn't have a car, but it was this older lady named Danielle who I ended up fucking years later. She was driving. Erica was in the passenger seat and I was in the back seat with Martha. We're back there flirting this and that and the other. Well, we go and we get our lunch. And then we get back in the car, and this time Martha said that she wanted to sit in. This time Martha said, "Hey, Donovan, sit in the front seat." I'm like, "What the fuck? Does she not like me? Like, what the hell?" So Martha and Erica are back there whispering to one another, and I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if Martha's telling Erica that she likes me. Oh, I can't believe it. This and that and the other." Dude, I can't tell you how long. I can't tell you. I never figured out what the conversation was. But like a year and a half or 2 years later, when I finally hooked up with Erica, she told me about that conversation. She said that day we went to Del Taco when Danielle drove us all and she told you to switch seats. Erica told me that Martha told her, "Look, I really need a boyfriend. I know you like him, but can you please let me have him?" Guys, my hand to the fucking man. So Martha knew that Erica liked me, but I didn't know Erica liked me. And so Martha knew that Erica looked better than Martha did. She knew she looked better than her. So she got in the back seat and said, she pleaded for, she says, "Look, please let me have this one." And the rest is fucking history. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How this crazy fucking story, man. That was crazy as hell. Anyway. You guys saw I was having some production issues there. I was actually trying to move the fan a little bit closer to me, and the fan, the cord to the fan was tied up with the camera. So when I moved the fan, it knocked over the camera, and everything was whatever. This is a one-man show, at least for now. So sue me. Anyway, Janelle Testa is the epitome of the serial girlfriend slut. She's in and out of relationships all the time. But just because you're committed to someone doesn't mean you're not a banana gobbler. That's how this works. A girl will have 6 boyfriends in 1 month and claim that she's not a cucumber connoisseur because the half dozen guys she slept with were all her boyfriends at the time. Commitment or not, sleeping with that many guys in a short period of time makes you an eggplant enthusiast, which means your notch count is in the triple digits. I'm going to skip numbers 3, 4, and 5 because they're all fillers, and one of them is a sponsor. It's a sponsored ad for some dating service that they're doing. Numbers 4 and 5 don't have anything substantive to add to the article, so we are going to go to number 6. I probably sleep with them too soon, you think? In an ideal world, she says, I would wait for weeks, even months, to sleep with someone. In my reality, however, it happens very quickly. I sometimes sleep with them on the first or second date within the very first few weeks of dating. There's nothing inherently wrong with this except that I don't think it's getting me what I desire, which is a nice and healthy LTR. Waiting to sleep with them would give me a better chance. Correction. She sleeps with these guys on the first date all the time. Every time. Well, how do you know? Are you in her bedroom? No, I am definitely not in that big bitch's bedroom. But I don't have to be to know that she's giving it up on the first date every single time. And she gave herself away way back in episode 499, when she admitted that her friend staged an intervention to slow down her hookups. Take a look. Really needed to be alone at times. You guys are going to love this. There have been a few instances where the right thing to do was to be alone. For example, I was spending hours a day on dating apps and going on multiple first dates a week. I was out of control. When a friend had an intervention with me, I realized it was really time to take a deep breath and just be by myself for a while. Wow. An intervention, gentlemen. So let me get this straight. You are sleeping with so many guys in such a short amount of time. A friend of yours who is also highly promiscuous, and let's not pretend that you have chaste friends. We know slutty girls always have slutty friends, but your friend who also sleeps with men by the truckload decided to stage an intervention? This means that this chick was getting straight up ran through, and she was getting pounded by so many dudes that even her promiscuous friends were uncomfortable with how many dudes she was sleeping with. And let's not let this little phrase get away. She said multiple first dates a week. So she's going on all these first dates every week, which means there's not a second date the next week. Just first dates every week, which means she's sleeping with every dude she meets on the first date. This girl is a super hoe, guys. Listen, man, we all know that girls are highly promiscuous. But anytime a female's friends have to stage an intervention because even they are uncomfortable with the number of men she's sleeping with, she's the worst of the worst. This chick probably has so much male DNA floating around in her that her genetic code has probably been rewritten. Listen, she's got blue eyes now, but she probably was born with brown eyes. Jesus Christ. Miss Testa in number 6, she's doing what all women do when it comes to their dating lives. And that, of course, is drastically minimizing the truth. She bangs these dudes on the first date every time, but then she says, sometimes. Which means she wants us to believe that she doesn't do it all the time. Then she says first or second or within the first few weeks of dating to make us think that she sometimes waits to sleep with these guys, which we know is 1,000% false. Then right at the end, she acknowledges that waiting to have sex with these guys increases her chances of a long-term relationship. So now you're probably thinking, well, if she knows that abstaining from sex for a few weeks gives her a better shot at commitment, then why does she keep sleeping with these guys on the first date? Well, this is simple, guys. Women lack impulse control. When women want to do something, they rarely have the discipline to sort of see the bigger picture and to think about the potential consequences of their actions. Spending money and sleeping with random guys are two things that women have absolutely no discipline to delay gratification with, and that's exactly why most women have taken a lot of penises and have a lot of debt. I'm going to go ahead and skip number 7 because, again, it doesn't have anything substantive to add to the article. It's just more fluff. So we're just going to go ahead and go to number 8. Pardon me. I think I project too far into the future. I think I know who's going to stick, she says. I imagine our future life together and I get carried away with fantasizing, projecting into the future. In doing so, I'm swept away by thinking right out of the present moment. I'm not even living a life with this person. I'm dreaming about what could be. I definitely could benefit from keeping my head outside of the clouds and looking at where my feet are. Now, this is the other side of the brain in the time machine phenomenon that I mentioned earlier. For every guy who starts dreaming about what it would be like to be in a long-term relationship with a girl you've been dating for a half an hour, 5 girls do the same, especially desperate girls like Janelle Testa. I've already talked about why this isn't good for men, but the reason it's bad for women is that when women start to visualize the future with a particular guy, they get clingy. They start acting like an obsessive stalker. I've had this happen to me many, many times, but it's not always a bad thing. You see, the hotter and younger the girl, the less I mind when she starts acting nutty. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to put her in check and handle her craziness. But pretty girls are a lot more palatable in this regard than older, less attractive women. And this is why Janelle ends up shooting herself in the foot. She gets all obsessed, and then she starts pushing for a long-term relationship because she's entertaining thoughts of the future with a guy she's seeing. Back when she was in her early 20s, this didn't scare dudes away because, again, she was young and pretty. But now that she's an overweight, tatted-up, bull ring-wearing, card-carrying feminist who has a pharmacy in her medicine cabinet to keep her mind away from crazy thoughts and actions, the guy pulls the ripcord and gets the hell up out of there. Nothing wrong with girls putting their brains in a time machine, but they can only do it when they're young and pretty if they actually want the guy to stick around. Number 9. I worry I'm incapable of having an LTR. All of this serial dating BS, she says, has me thinking that there's something fundamentally wrong with me. I low-key worry that I'll never be able to have an LTR. Now she's using red pill language, I guess. That I'll forever be chasing boy after boy. I know this is crap, though. I can't be broken. I'm a lovable human being worthy of love. I have to shut down these voices in my head telling me I'm not good enough. This is the problem with women like Janelle Testa. The truth is staring them right in the face. But because they haven't realized that A, they've hit the wall, and B, they've been with so many dudes that they cannot emotionally pair bond to men anymore, they deny the fact that they're no longer viable for relationships with men of value. She said that the serial dating has her thinking that there's something fundamentally wrong with her. And she's right. There is something fundamentally wrong with her. And she doesn't low-key worry that she'll never be in a long-term relationship. She worries about it all the time because she knows that she is broken. She can tell herself, I can't be broken as many times as she wants, guys, but deep down she knows the truth. This is why she has to shut down those voices in her head that tell her she's not good enough, because she knows those voices are telling her the truth. The fact that she says, I can't be broken, it's almost like she's convincing herself. by saying it that says that she is indeed broken. And men with red pill awareness know that broken men can be fixed, but broken women cannot. As it happens, women know this too, which is why they're in constant denial about it. Number 10, someone will stick someday. Call me a hopeless romantic, she says, but I don't think I can be stuck in this pattern forever. I think something's got to give. Eventually, someone will stick. I will have an actual relationship someday, and this pattern will stop haunting me. It may last for a little while longer first. That's just the antidepressants talking. That's all this is. The pills make her a hopeless romantic because without them, she'd just be hopeless. Now, when she says something's got to give, she's right. Something will give, which is her finally coming to the realization that she'll never be in a relationship of consequence with a man she truly loves and respects who also truly loves her. When she says that she'll have a relationship someday and the pattern will stop haunting her, that's her wishful thinking. She knows she'll continue that pattern, but the anti-anxiety med she's on allows her to remain delusional about her future. Number 11, I can't be the only one with this experience. Sometimes I feel totally crazy, she says, but I know I can't be the only one who's experiencing this. I mean, there's a meme that says, I met someone, then 2 days later, never mind. If a meme exists, there have to be lots of other people having those feelings. I'll find peace and comfort in that. She's right, guys. She's definitely not the only woman with this experience. This experience is widespread. But the fact that she says, I can't be the only one with this experience, says that she thinks that what she's going through is not normal. She thinks that she's some special snowflake who's stuck in this pattern of sleeping with guy after guy, getting excited, becoming neurotic and obsessive, getting ghosted on, rinse and repeat, but this happens to girls every day. The problem is she's not finding peace and comfort in that. Otherwise, she wouldn't be on 5 different medications to quell her depressing thoughts. And if you look at the screen, I've actually replaced all of the pictures in the article with pictures of her. The one that's on your screen now is a picture she posted on Instagram showing all of the medications that she is on. So anyone watching who thinks that I'm just making up this arbitrary rhetoric to sound clever or funny when I talk about girls being on antidepressants and all that, think again. The things I talk about are rooted in fact. That's the only way I know how to do it, guys. Number 12, I'm taking a break, she says. This may come as a surprise, she says, but lately I have actually been single. Who knew? I'm taking a break from dating because my tactics obviously aren't working for me. I'm going to refresh over the course of a few months, maybe a whole year. Then I'm going to start dating again. Hopefully, never mind will make itself scarce in my vocabulary. First of all, no one is surprised that you've been single, Janelle. The reasons are obvious. Just look at your screen. Secondly, you're not taking a break from the dating market, sweetie. The dating market is taking a break from you, as in a permanent break. Okay, yeah, you'll get the occasional one-night stand with a guy who's desperate, and you might even score a friends with benefits arrangement for a week or two, but a relationship is out of the question with you, even with low-value guys. And it's not your tactics that aren't working, Janelle. It's you are not working. You are the one that's not working, which means that you're not worth committing to anymore. Never mind will remain a staple in your vocabulary until you come to the realization that all you're good for is sex. And it won't be long before you're not even good for that. We close out the show with a vegan YouTuber who is outright lying about being a virgin. We'll be right back. Gentlemen, if you want even more content, become a patron at patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Podcast versions of The Daily Show, access to the archive from the very first episode, as well as the lost videos that are not safe for YouTube, are just a drop in the bucket of the ocean of content you'll have access to as a patron. If you want to support the show and get your hands on the kind of content that will change your life, visit patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Again, that's patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Welcome back to the show, guys. Appreciate you guys sticking around. Again, a big thanks goes out to Jimmy for submitting the article for today's topic. If you see a video or an article that is TSR Live worthy, send it to tsr@donovansharpe.com. That is tsr@donovansharpe.com. Don't hit me on Facebook. Don't hit me on Twitter. Don't hit me on Instagram. Don't even send me a Patreon message. I never check any of my messengers. Listen, the best way to get a hold of me is my email address. tsr@donovansharpe.com. That's tsr@donovansharpe.com. I don't communicate with people through social media. I just don't do that. I communicate with the I communicate with the Red Man Group guys. I communicate with the Rule Zero guys. I don't communicate with anybody else through social media. A while back, I got an email from Rico, who sent me a video of a vegan YouTuber who goes by the name Fully Raw Christina, who claims to be a 32-year-old virgin. Now, when he sent me the video, he told me, quote, "There are still women out there who value themselves. I'd like to hear what you think." So I did a little bit of digging, and it didn't take me long to realize that Christina's fake. So Rico, Christina's fake. That's what I think. Not on the vegan part, because I don't know what constitutes a true vegan or not, nor do I really care. I'm talking about her touting herself as a virgin. Now, a while back, she released a video called "Why I'm a 32-Year-Old Virgin," and it was so, it was so boring, I couldn't even get through the first couple of minutes, so I looked at her Instagram, and it became very clear to me that Fully Raw Christina is most certainly not a virgin. So let's take a quick scroll through her IG, through her Instagram, and we will see. I'm just going to point out why we know she's a liar. So if you look at your screen right off the bat, you see that there are she poses in bikinis all the time. That's the first sign. The second sign is, look at the bottom right of your screen. Now look at the top of your screen. That's right, gentlemen. Fully Raw Christina's boyfriend is a brother. Let's take a look at what this guy looks like. Look at this guy. Let me move myself out of the way here. Give me a second. Oh no, wait a minute. Hold on. Again, I'm still new at this, guy, so please bear with me. Let me move myself a little bit further down here. So yeah, you see that her boyfriend is black. I don't know who he is, right? I don't know what his story is, but here's another picture of her boyfriend. Look at the embrace. Does that pointing her toes? Does this look like a woman who has never had sex before? Right? Obviously not. Her boyfriend is black. Black men have higher testosterone levels, which means black men trying to fuck. And again, we'll continue to scroll through. Listen, half of her pictures are of her in bikinis. And bikinis are, if a woman is posting cleavage-laden bikini, scantily clad pics, she is looking for attention. Here's another picture of her kissing her boyfriend. Here's another one of her with her boyfriend. This woman, and she is, you know, it's interesting, she's 32. She doesn't really look like she's 32. She actually looks like she's much older than 32. Look at this. She looks like she's about 42. I don't know, maybe even 45 in this picture. I don't know, maybe she's trying too hard with the smile, but I don't know, she doesn't look that. Anyway, that's beside the point. If we're being honest, listen, Fully Raw Christina's got a nice body, right? Not really as curvy as I like. She looks to be on the skinny side, but you know, listen, we'd all smash. Like, let's not sit here and pretend that we wouldn't. Another picture of her taller black boyfriend. Again, more bikini pictures, etc., etc. She's doing all sorts of poses. Oh, look, here we go. More bikini pictures, her in the shower. Dude, every other picture of her is in a bikini, showing her breasts. Look at this picture, right in the middle of your screen. Oh, look at all the raw, clean food, fruits and vegetables that I eat. Oh, by the way, here's some cleavage. Here's another picture of her butt naked, presumably, behind a large plant. Here is a picture of her fully naked in a bed of flowers. More cleavage, more bikini. She's upside down, showing that flexibility. More strawberries. Another picture of her and the dude. Oh, look at this. It is her extremely large black boyfriend lifting her up into the air. This woman is not a virgin, guys. She's not. I am 1,000% sure there's another picture of her naked in a bed of flowers. You can tell a lot by a woman just by looking at her Instagram pics. Look at this. Look at this. More bikini pictures. And oh, look at that. Her boyfriend is picking her up, whisking her away. Look at them kiss. Look at how her hand is on her stomach, is on his stomach. You don't think her hand has been any lower than that? Like, get the hell out of here with that, man. Why? I just don't understand. This seems to be a recent trend that I've at least become aware of here recently. And that is women who claim to be virgins. I don't watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette anymore because it's become redundant and I can't stop talking about it. Right? I just don't have any interest in the show anymore. I did for a while, but now I don't. But dude, so many girls on that show. Oh, I'm a virgin. I've never had sex before. So many women out here claim to be virgins. It's just unbelievable, and it's so obvious that they're lying. This woman, look at this woman. She has absolutely, positively had sex before. There is absolutely no way. Bikini pictures, naked pictures, cleavage everywhere, large black boyfriend. If she's not having sex with her, he's having sex with somebody else. And if that, come on, like for real? If he ain't having, honestly, he's not having sex with this? Get out of here with that, man. She released this long video. It's like a 20-minute video. Why I'm a virgin and it's so special to me. Sweetheart, it ain't that serious. Lolo Jones also claims that she's still a virgin, and a lot of people probably think she is, but Lolo Jones is 37, 38 years old. Like, listen, holding on to your virginity for as long as you can, listen, this is a good thing. But holding on to it until you're 32, 37 years, that doesn't mean anything, right? Men would rather have sex with a 22-year-old who has slept with 22 guys than a 37-year-old who has slept with nobody. Like, get out of here with that. Let's scroll down here even more. Oh, here's another guy. I don't know. Does this guy look like her boyfriend? I don't know. It doesn't look like her boyfriend, but she's definitely had sex with this guy. You can tell. And look, dude, so many pictures she has. She's in heels. She loves high heels. High heels, short skirts, bikinis. Now, I guess that's a picture of her and her boyfriend. Bikini pictures, cleavage, high heels, big African-American boyfriend, sultry pictures, sexy pictures. I don't know how anyone, and by the way, she has a lot, listen, there's her, I guess her 100,000 or her million, I don't know if that's 100,000 or whatever. She's got a million Instagram followers. She has 1 million YouTube subscribers, so she's very successful. Listen, I'm not going to hate on her for making money doing what she does. I do the same thing she does. The difference between me and her is I don't lie about it. Like, listen, I show my receipts. I walk the walk and I talk the talk. The how to build a quality woman from the ground up, that is absolutely things that I do in my relationship to this day, to this minute. Fully Raw Christina is not a virgin. There is absolutely no way she's a virgin. I would bet my life on it. So all you got to do is look at this chick. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.